Hey guys, welcome back. The title of the video is going to be Let's Start with Baseball to Bring Jobs Back to the United States of America. Now, this video is going to be more of like a vlog, show and tell, and maybe more of an education on the baseball space when it comes to all the products you need to get into baseball. Now, I recently just started doing Little League with my son. I just started being an assistant coach, which is really exciting. I've had a lot of fun with it so far. We've had one practice, and it was a blast, man. You get out there and you're throwing baseballs to little kids, helping them practice, learn how to bat. We're doing machine pitch. So there's a machine in the middle of the field that throws a pitch to the kids, and they try to hit it, and we teach them how to run the bases and how to do all the outfield plays, all that jazz. I'm very new to baseball. I've never been involved in baseball my entire life, so I'm also new to the equipment. I've never bought any of these products before, and I didn't realize how expensive Little League baseball really can be. Now, I'm sure I'm probably going a little bit overboard when it comes to all the gear. I'm probably buying a little more than I need, but I kind of want to have fun with it. You only have kids one time in your life, and so I'm going to enjoy my time with my son. He's excited about it, and that's what it is. I'm buying the gear, and we're going to practice and have fun with it. But I figured, since we're talking about tariffs, and you guys know my channel, it's really patriotic when I talk about geopolitics, building wealth, and I'm all about the United States of America. I want things to work in our favor. Now, if you're from another country, you guys would probably feel the same way about your country. But I figured, what's more American than baseball when it comes to, the American sport of baseball? All the products that we sell, in theory, should probably come from America, you would think, right? You would think that. But unfortunately, that is not the case. So let me show you all the gear that I've had to go out and buy for me and my son, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the gear, maybe how expensive it is, and what are the companies that sell these products. So let's start. Now, first of all, this is my baseball cap that I wear. This is from Columbia, the company Columbia. It's a nice American flag, got some trees and stuff. Now, I bought this a couple years ago, but I guarantee you it wasn't made here in the United States. Now, that doesn't have much to do with baseball, but that's what I wear. So, where are we going to start? First things first, I separated out products from where they're manufactured, kind of keep things easy for me. So, these are my son's cleats, and they're made by a company called Rawlings, and Rawlings is partnered with the MLB officially. It's also a private equity firm, if you didn't know that. And Rawlings is huge in the baseball field. Almost everything you buy is from Rawlings. These are his cleats. I don't remember what we paid for these. We bought these last year, maybe $40. These are made in China, from China. What about baseballs? Dick's Sporting Goods. I went here yesterday and I got 12 baseballs, okay? And these are all made in China. And I've also got the receipts so I can actually keep track of where prices might go. And I'm going to keep this receipt. It'll be kind of interesting. And maybe I'll go back to Dick's and find out what prices will be pretty soon. These baseballs were $40 for 12 baseballs. Do the math. I don't know what that is. The price per baseball, probably a couple bucks. Now, this is my son's T-ball baseball bat. I think I'm going to have to buy a new one because this is a T-ball one. I don't know where it's from. It didn't say here, but it says USA Baseball. But to be honest, it's probably made overseas. And then I've got his glove made by Rawlings, same company, made in China. Cute little red glove. He loves this little glove. May have to buy a new one too. You never know. This is a T-ball glove. I don't know if he'll need a new one. We'll see. What else do I got here? I've got his bag from last year. I don't know what I paid for this. Maybe probably 25 bucks, something. Made by Rawlings from China. This is all the stuff you're going to need for your baseball if you guys are planning on doing that with your son or your daughter. You know, girls play in the leagues too. I've also got this Skills. You throw the ball at the net and it bounces back, so you can practice catching with it. I don't know if I'm going to keep this because I bought another product that might just do the same thing. This was like 45 bucks. I bought it at Meijer's. And again, this is not a product review. I haven't tested this. Probably works well. We'll see if we open it and keep it. But this is made by a brand called Skills, SKLZ. And that is made by or owned by a company called Impulse Footwear, I think it is. Impulse Corporation. And this company is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Okay, you guys are familiar with that company. Is number 8 in the stock market as far as valuation, and it's owned by Warren Buffett. Okay, so they're the ones that make this product at the end of the day, or own that product. May not make it, but they own it, and that's from China. That net. Now, before I go on to the other products, let's talk about this net for a minute. It's got a steel wraparound, holder, steel apparatus. So that steel is probably coming from China. I don't think they're sourcing it from the United States. And then you've got this nylon net or some sort of polyester nylon net. And maybe they source that directly in China or maybe in Indonesia or Bangladesh or Pakistan, whatever. China's sourcing it from somewhere. None of this stuff is coming from the United States, unfortunately. It's a product for baseball, right? American sport. Remember that. And then what else did I get? I got this Skills Catapult. This was $100, and it holds 10 balls or something like that. The balls just roll down this little track, and then they pop up for doing soft toss batting, double plays, and pop flies. And I'll just show you it. It's like this apparatus here. You fill the things up with the baseballs, and then this little thing here, right here, it must spring out and shoot the baseball up. And you can angle it at different angles, and the balls will do pop flies and whatnot. I haven't tested it yet. Should be interesting. It comes with like a battery adapter, and you can put like D batteries in this thing, so you don't have to have it connected to your wall, which is good. That is made in China as well. So, and then I got a couple other sponge baseballs that we bought last year. These are all made in China. And then these rubber balls are made by Franklin. I don't know if you can see it there. And again, this is another baseball branded company, sports company, made in China. There you have it. So that's the stuff made in China. And then I got my son's helmet here. I can't remember what we paid. I think we bought it on Amazon. This one is made in Thailand, right? But yeah, so we don't make, I don't know, maybe we make helmets here, maybe from different brands. Probably next time, maybe I should check this stuff when we upgrade our equipment. And then we've got a Rawlings mitt here. Again, that helmet was made by Rawlings, MLB, Associated Company, private equity. This one's made in Cambodia. This was a glove for my daughter last year. When my son was playing, I'd like to play catch on the sidelines with her occasionally before they start playing. And then I bought a mitt the other day from Meijer's. Again, Rawlings, and this one is made in Vietnam. And this mitt was $89, I think. No, $85. $85 for a mitt. Now, I saw some mitts the other day at Dick's that were like $300. So be aware of that. If you get into baseball, the prices go up, no doubt. But it feels nice. Now, when you think about it, you've got all this material. If this was made in Vietnam, who knows where these stitchings came from, these leather stitchings. Maybe they came from Pakistan or India, whatever, that's probably where it came from. And then maybe they assembled them in Vietnam. Who knows? We don't know. And then let's see here. Now, as an assistant coach, it's cold here in Michigan, and a lot of the practices are in the evening, and it rains here all the time. So what did Dad have to do? I have to go out and buy some gear. All right. I didn't have a really good coat for rain wicking. If you get wet, it rains and drizzles here in Michigan all the time. So I got a coat. This one's from Under Armour, and this one, let's see, this one's from Vietnam. Yeah, Vietnam is what it was. Not a bad little coat, but it's hard to display it. But nice and soft. It was like $100. Kind of ridiculous for a coat, if you ask me. And then I got some kind of sport pants. They're probably water resistant to an extent. Kind of real flexible. Again, I haven't played sports in years, so I needed some gear to kind of deal with the cold Michigan weather. I'm sure I'll have to buy some shorts eventually. Those were like $80, something like that. Let's see. Oh, and then I got another product. I got a gym bag, to hold all these baseballs that I'm going to be dealing with. Carry my mitt, stuff like that. Maybe bring an extra pair of pants. Who knows? And maybe take this machine. I don't know if it'll fit. Probably not, but maybe it will. Who knows? You got to have some bags to carry around your stuff. This one's made by Nike, and I think it was $75. And this one is made in Indonesia, south of China, south of Vietnam, in the islands over there. And who knows where they got those materials. But overall, I'm really excited to play baseball with my son, teach kids how to throw and catch grounders and hit the ball. And the coach is really great. I'm just an assistant coach, and I'm really excited to do this. But if we're going to talk about tariffs and what we should do as far as bringing jobs back to America, this is where we should start. We should start with baseball. What do you think, guys? Start with baseball, What does it take for us to take this baseball? This is made by Rawlings. Again, all the baseballs are from China. Okay? I don't know if you can see that there, but anyways. So we've got in here, it says what's in these baseballs too. Solid cork and rubber center. So we would need to source some solid cork and rubber, to put inside the baseball. And then I don't know what this is on the outside. I think it's, leather, I think. And maybe the stitching, some sort of nylon or leather material. I'm not exactly sure what the stitching is. And I'm sure at one point, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, we made these things here probably in the United States, right? Until some accountants and some people with MBAs from Ivy League schools decided, hey, Rawlings and MLB, go send the manufacturing over to China. Take the machines that we have here in America and go manufacture these balls in China, right? Does China even play baseball, guys? Maybe a couple places in China they do. But this is the baseball capital here in America. Why aren't we making this stuff here? Let's start with the baseball. Somebody out there, let me know, if the tariffs are 145% with China, or maybe they go up to 400%, can we compete with China on the baseballs? Right? I think these baseballs were like $4 a piece. Okay. Maybe the prices will go to $12 a piece or $10 a piece. Then can we make the baseballs here? Can we make baseballs for $10, $20 even? Let's just go with the $20. Are people like me willing to spend $20 if we can get jobs back in America for baseballs? Maybe. I'm going to buy what I need to for my son, and a lot of other parents are going to too. In total, between Myers and Dick's, this is just this year, I spent, I think, around $700. And I think I might return this net thing over there. Would I be willing to spend $1,000? Probably, to be honest. I'm going to do the things I want to do with my son. And I want to make him a better man by playing a sport that's an American pastime tradition. That's what we need to talk about, guys, is are we willing to take the time to see where it's from? I did not do that. Okay, I'll be fully transparent. I was just simply, hey, I need baseballs, I need mitts, I need all this stuff for him to practice and get better at baseball. So I just went out, to a couple stores in town and got what I needed. Maybe I should have spent the time to look at where the stuff is from. But, if I went to Amazon, does it really tell me that it's from China or Indonesia or Vietnam? Probably not. You got to buy the product. Then you got to look at the tag on the inside to know where it's from. You know what I'm saying, guys? And the interesting thing is, this might be an opportunity. I don't know. If you're looking to build wealth, and if the Chinese tariffs go up to, let's say, 400%, I don't think that's going to happen in reality. But if it were to go up 400%, could you build a business building baseballs? Could you do that? It'd be interesting. So, anyways, not trying to be all political about this. I think this is more of just a question and a conversation we should have in this country. And I think it should start with baseball. It's our American pastime. And these products, in my opinion, should all be built in the United States. And, the only thing that we are benefiting from is the fact that Dick's is I've got my notes here, these 4 companies. Dick's is publicly traded. So you could invest in Dick's and, take advantage of the margin situation as far as where these products are built off of. Rawlings is private. It's private equity in the MLB. We can't take advantage of that. The Skills brand is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. So I guess, if they keep selling in China, this little catapult here, if they keep selling in China, I guess you can invest in it by buying Berkshire Hathaway. It can come back to us. Nothing wrong with that. But it doesn't create jobs here. It creates top 10% millionaires, right? People like me who are invested in the stock market. In my opinion, though, I don't invest in Berkshire or Dick's. In my opinion, I'd rather those jobs be made in America, And that's why I invest in Tesla. That's an 86% American-made company. The car's there. That's why I like staying invested in Tesla. That's another reason why I'm invested in other companies I'm invested in. I've got some investment in Pfizer. I used to work there. It's an American company, and they've got manufacturing still here in America, the pharmaceuticals. So, that's something to think about too, where you're investing your money. Not only where you buy your products, where you invest your money. So, but I think we could start with baseball, guys. I really do. And I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to enjoy it. I know I bought all these products from overseas, but it's for my family. And that's part of building wealth too, is we want to enjoy our time with our family and grow them into good, solid human beings and enjoy life. So anyways, this is not a rant by any means. It's just a conversation I think we should have. Let me know in the comments below. What should we do? Should we start with baseball? I think it's a good start. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. I'm going to release this video on Saturday. And take a look at my previous video if you could. And thanks, guys. Bye.